Welcome back to Baxter County Roundtable. I believe this is episode number 42. Who'd have thunk it? My name is Joe Bryant. My partner is Russ Gillis, and today we have two guests. To my right is Scott from Little T's Golf Center, I guess. Is that it?
Mini golf.
It's Little T's Mini Golf and more.
Okay, and more. Oh man, it's getting better all the time.
Absolutely.
So, first we're going to start off with Russ. He's going to go over our sponsors.
Yep.
And then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. I'm
glad to say that in addition to the Baxter County Republican Committee, who is our primary sponsor, who kick-started us, funded us up front for our equipment to get started on the podcast. We also are sponsored in part by Mountain Home Heating and Air Conditioning, voted best in the Twin Lakes area for 2 years in a row, 2024 and 2025. They're the largest Goodman dealer in the Twin Lakes area. Mountain Home Heat and Air, together with Goodman, are two names you can trust. Goodman systems are made in America by Americans just outside of Houston, Texas. They also specialize in Daikin mini-split systems. From new installations to duct cleaning and everything in between, Mountain Home Heat and Air are the people you call for all your HVAC needs. They offer high-quality systems and workmanship, affordable prices, and if you need it, financing is available. So give Kurt Lawrence and folks out at Mountain Home Heat and Air a call. Summertime's coming up. Need to have your AC looked at.
You're made in America AC.
Yeah, you're made in America. Well, hopefully it's made in America.
Yes.
Not sure about the ones that they got right now, but if you get one from Mountain Home Heat and Air, you can get one made in America. But anyway, their phone number is 870-425-HVAC. That's 425-4822.
And did I mention Jamie Nicholson Johnson is with us today?
No, you did not.
I apologize for that. Sorry, Jamie. Baxter County Assessor. I've known her for quite a while, actually. I shouldn't be forgetting her.
And it's getting that time of year for assessing, and that's why we wanted to have Miss Jamie on, so that she can explain all the ins and outs and what you need to do to make sure you're not getting crossways with the county.
Uh-oh. Beware. So anyway, we're going to lead off with Scott from Little T's Golf and More.
Yeah.
Tell us who you are, a little bit about your business.
Sure.
Or a lot about your business.
So we're Highway 5 North, 39 County Road 917. We have been open almost 4 years. May 13th will be our fourth year of being open.
And how did you get here?
I will tell you, I thank our chamber. So we came out here on vacation in 2021 and had a great time hiking and fishing and mountain biking. I'm an outdoors guy. We fell in love with Arkansas. Arkansas to us was an unknown entity. We came from the East Coast. And we would drive through Mountain Home every day to go hiking or to go kayaking. And we'd drive back through at night, and we would have dinner at Raps or one of the great restaurants in town. But there was nothing fun to do at all. So we ended up we ended up seeing the Zone, which is on the other side of town, and asked some questions about that. Realized very quickly that the price was not reasonable. And we were at dinner, and a gentleman leaned over and told us about the All About Fun, which had been abandoned for 11 years, right across from the Baxter Health and Wellness Center. I was very hesitant to invest in a community I knew nothing about. So I started doing a lot of market research, a lot of data, spoke to the Chamber of Commerce. They gave me a lot of data about Baxter County and Mountain Home. They helped us really work hard to understand the community. And then from there, I partnered with the ASBDC, which is the Arkansas Small Business Development Center. I also partnered with Arvest Bank to write a business plan. And we bought the abandoned center February 25th of 2022 and moved here in March.
So what kind of background do you have? Anything related to this, or did you just go in head first? Or?
Well, we mostly went head first. I ran 160 stores for Home Depot. I've always been a customer-focused person. My wife and I, we love mini golf. We've played about 140 courses around the country.
Oh my gosh.
Mini golf's fun. Anybody can be good at it.
I can't get past the windmill. You have any pointers?
No, I don't have a windmill, so you don't have any problem.
Okay, well maybe I'll come out there and
So-
check it out.
So our course is a very elegantly designed course. It plays much more like a golf course in the putting, but it's still fun and it's still challenging. Anybody can be good at mini golf. Putting is something that anybody can be good at. Not everybody can hit a driver. Not everybody can hit a wedge, but anybody can properly be taught the technique to putt.
And where do they learn that from you?
Yeah, my wife actually teaches ladies all the time how to be really good at mini golf so they can beat their husbands.
Oh, no good. I might
so-
have to get in on the ladies' course because I really don't think I'm that good at.
It only takes a few minutes, and it's just being patient.
But it's been a while since I've tried mini golf.
So after opening that up, we worked very hard our first 2 years to really perfect the mini golf experience, because we stand for being family affordable.
Now, did you design this
No,
system?
no.
Okay.
Harris Mini Golf out of New Jersey is one of the premier course designers in the world.
Okay.
People don't realize if you built our course today, it would be a $500,000 to $700,000 investment.
Oh my gosh.
So we're blessed to have the framework in place. We were the ones that put the care and the love and the renovation behind it.
Okay.
My wife and I solely did the sweat equity to bring the course back to life. Every day, hole by hole.
Okay. And what were you going to say before I interrupted you?
You're good. So we now have an ice cream shop, Little Dipper's Ice Cream, located right inside of our mini golf course. We have 16 flavors of hand-scooped ice cream. We do milkshakes. We do malts. We do banana splits. We do sundaes. And we have fun ice cream. It's not homemade. Paradise, he owns that market, and we recommend him all the time. We believe that we can coexist. And then
You guys are doing separate things.
Well,
So, I
look,
mean,
we want to be family affordable. So, for example, if you went to Branson to play mini golf, it's $16 for an adult, $13 for a kid. We're $8 and a quarter and $7 and a quarter. I didn't move here to be a millionaire. I moved here to create an entertainment venue that allowed families to connect and spend time together.
well, you can be wealthy without having $1 million, and living in the Ozarks, you're halfway there just by being here.
Well, the reality is that we did it because we wanted to create a better quality of life. And I know a lot of rich people who aren't happy.
Yeah. That's true.
So, now we have the restaurant. We have Say Cheese. We have 21 different grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. And and we make, I'm going to tell you, we make a Chicago dog. It is not a Vienna dog, but it's darn good.
Right.
And I get beat up all the time because it's not authentic. Well, I also have a lot of people who tell us it tastes better than the authentic Chicago dog. We do chili cheese dogs. We do flatbread pizzas. Basically, if I can melt cheese on it, we do it.
Cool.
That's the best way to think about it.
Well, now I'm going to gather that your prices on the food are affordable as
Yes,
well.
and they're large portions, and everything's fresh.
Awesome.
So that's important to me. We went through 13 different loaves of bread before I chose what bread would make the grilled cheese. I use high quality cheeses, high quality meats. Everything is done right because that's what people deserve, and that's not always. Now, I will say this: in our town, we have enormous great restaurants.
A lot of them come and go though, and I think you hit the nail on the head with the quality. That's
Well, honestly,
they lose track of the quality factor.
the other piece is support. Too many people tell me I'm too far out of town. I'm a mile and a half past Skippers. But
Yeah.
there's like a force field that people think they can't drive past Skippers.
Well, it's like I remember, I ran into you at Walmart there, and we were chatting, and you told me about some lady that said, you mentioned something about mini golf. We don't have a mini golf in Mountain Home. Oh, yes, we do.
I'm wearing the mini golf
yeah.
shirt, and she's arguing with me, telling there's not a mini golf in town.
That's funny.
And the cashier, fortunately, at Walmart turned around and said, "Yeah, my kids and I go all the time. You don't know what you're talking about, lady." And I was like, I'm just gonna back off.
I'll be honest. That's the moment when I started thinking about having small businesses come on here and be able to promote them to get the word out around town. Not now, granted, we don't have everybody in Baxter County or even Mountain Home that listen to us or watch us, but it's like everything that we can do to assist our small businesses in being successful, we need to do.
Well, and here's the hard part. I love to give back. We just did a tournament for the Mountain Home Public Schools, the junior ROTC program, to help them go to Washington D.C.
For our July 4th
That's right.
celebration.
We're the only school in Arkansas. Actually, let me rephrase that. We're the only group from Arkansas that's going to march in the 4th of July parade in Washington, D.C. We're one of only, I think, 17 schools were invited in the entire country. 17 schools.
And there's over 10,000, I believe, schools in the United States.
Yeah. So they're going to get to sit on the White House lawn and watch the fireworks. They're going to get to go to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Now, are these high school kids?
These are our high school kids here
Okay.
in Mountain Home that are in the junior ROTC program. That trip is $56,000 for them to go. Most of the parents felt like at the beginning that they wouldn't be able to go because they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
But our community banded together,
Yeah.
not just through us. I want to make that clear. We had whole sponsors. We had other businesses that donated. There are some enormous, great people in our community that are former military that donated privately to the junior ROTC program so that these kids could, it's literally a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yep.
We'll never be able to celebrate the 250th, anniversary of the starting of our country again.
No, that's it.
So this was important to me as an Army veteran, important to me as somebody who lived near D.C. and spent a lot of time in D.C., important to me. When you go to the Vietnam War Memorial or you go to the Korean War Memorial and you see the names on the wall, when you go to the Holocaust Museum and you see these things, it changes you as a person.
Yep.
And these kids will have that opportunity at a young age to have their lives changed, to have their perspective sharpened on what it means to be an American.
And now I hear it's safe in D.C. Imagine that.
Yeah, and let me correct you on one thing. You said it's a once in. I mean, this is once in 250 years.
No, that's right.
Not very many people around that's 250 years old. I mean, according to the voting rolls in some of the states there are, and some of the Social Security rolls there still are, but I mean,
I know.
it's once every 250 years.
Yeah.
So these kids, that's something that they can tell their kids about, their grandkids and their great grandkids if they're still alive.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned location.
Yeah.
Now, the way I see it is you're right dead center of both Shoals and Mount Home.
Yep, that's correct.
And
Is
Midway.
But here's the funny thing:
You getting-
so one of the things I learned when we moved here, I used to commute 2.5 to 4 hours a day. I ran stores from Philadelphia to DC. So I was in a car. I had a lot of windshield time.
Yeah.
Everything in Mountain Home is 11 minutes away.
Yeah.
But people will tell us we're too far away.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I know.
it just cracks me up because, once again, when somebody wants a donation, you're going to get it from a small business.
Yep.
When somebody wants support and help, you're going to get it from a small business.
Well, and the
you're
other
not going to get it from a major corporation.
no, and if you do, it'll be 5 or 6 months after the event because it takes that long to run it up the chain of command, all the way up to corporate, get it approved, and then them come back down and finally issue a check, and it's like it's not worth it
Well,
because then they want something to show that yes you did get included in that. Well, you're 6 months late. You're not going to be
Yes.
included.
The small business needs are a little more immediate.
Yeah,
I'd
you're
say.
you're much more agile. You can jump on it.
And we enjoy doing it. We sponsor with Parks and Rec. We sponsor Little League, baseball, softball, and soccer. You know, we love doing that. I love when the kids come to our course and they're wearing our shirt or our logo on their soccer shirt or their baseball shirt, and they're excited.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes me happy.
Now, do you have any feel for, you know, and the reason I mentioned in the middle of both shows in Mountain Home,
Sure.
they're both tourist areas. Do you have a feel for
So
whether
tourism.
tourists are finding you?
So the tourism finds us. So last year was tough because of all the rain.
Yeah.
So we lost every major holiday last year. Mother's Day it rained out. Father's Day it rained out. Memorial Day weekend we got rained out. 4th of July we got rained out. So my core days are tough.
Yeah.
The other piece is when people are here on vacation, they're on their boat during the day.
Yeah.
We get them at night.
Yeah.
So if it rains at night, guess what? I lose that opportunity. You know, people don't like to get wet.
Unless they're on the boat.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, they'll go out and swim all day, but they don't want to get
Right.
rained on that
Well,
night.
or struck by lightning with a club up
So
in
in
there.
fairness, last year was super tough on a business like ours because we are an outdoor environment. But, you know, you can always get an ice cream, you can always get a good sandwich and have fun. And the reality is that, yes, tourism is important to us. We actually are amazed at, like last week, I had people from Arizona up for vacation playing our course. We'll get, at different times of the year, we'll get Illinois, we'll get Iowa, we'll get Montana, where they're coming down here. They still want the mountains, they just don't want the cold that goes with the
Yeah,
mountains.
yeah.
You know, and that helps us. So the key thing is we need both. We need tourism because the great thing about tourism, they come and they go, and they add enormous amounts of tax value to our community, which helps keep our taxes low.
Now, are you do you have like birthday parties,
Oh, yeah.
events indoor,
We sure do.
or I guess
Yeah, we do
golf
a lot
in-
of birthday parties.
golf
Actually,
included, I suppose.
yeah, we did birthday parties last week, and we did 2 of them on Saturday in the midst of that tournament, which was over 150 people played. And we manage it very well. I love hiring kids in our community because my wife and I, we teach them good values. We teach them how to be polite, yes sir, yes ma'am, you know, and how important that is. And the neat thing that I've learned is that the good kids, they want good kids to work with them. They don't want lazy. We work hard, but it's fun hard,
Yeah.
right? Yes, sometimes we're blowing leaves and cutting the grass and trimming trees and doing all of that. But then the other times is we get to laugh with people all day long.
Those are the best jobs when you're having fun.
Yeah,
Well,
if-
you can't beat
If
it.
you enjoy what you're doing, you don't work a day in your life.
And I work 90 hours a week. And I usually am not tired because we're having fun doing it.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't
exactly.
get tired of having fun. All right, tell us how to find you. How do people find you?
So super easy. 39 County Road 917. If you take Highway 5 north, we're a mile and a half past Skippers on your left-hand side, right across from the Baxter Health and Wellness Center, which is the old Simple Man's Bar. We're easy, 870-301-7066 is our number. Or you can go to our website. It's littleTSminigolf.com. And from there, you can see our ice cream menu and you can see our restaurant menu.
How about hours?
So we do fluctuate hours. Right now, we are 11 to 7 for the restaurant, Tuesday through Saturday. But for mini golf, we're 10 to 8 during the week, and on the weekends, 10 to 9. And then once kids get out of school, we expand that to 10 to 9 and then 10 to 10. And then Sundays, we do 2 to 7.
How about winter?
Wintertime, we keep the restaurant open. We will take a short week and a half break for our family, so my wife can go back and see her family. But we keep the restaurant open, and then we reduce the hours because once the sun goes down, it just gets too cold.
Yeah.
But like over Christmas, we opened 3 days
Wow.
because it was 70 degrees 3
Yeah.
of the days around Christmas, and people came and played because they wanted something to do.
Excellent.
Well, the good thing is, you know, and this is where, you know, and why I wanted to get you on here and get the word out, because it's good to have the tourists coming in. But let's face it, after about November, after Thanksgiving, the tourist traffic around here is pretty dead. Not saying that the people from Montana wouldn't like to get here, but what they've got to go through and drive through to get here is pretty monumental task. But the stability that the residents here can provide way past those tourist dates
Yes.
can make life, can either make or break you, as a small business around here. Because, you were talking about the rain last year that really hurt y'all. It hurt just about everybody around here because, all of the landings, the launches were all flooded. You couldn't, there were very limited places you could actually even put your boat in. The campgrounds were the same thing. If they can't put their boat in, why do they want to come up here?
Well, and that's the thing. So I never complained last year because I knew if I was feeling pain,
Everybody else
other
was?
people were probably feeling more pain.
Yeah.
And that's where we tried to band together and help other businesses. We tried to create some partnerships and do things. The one thing that I tell people all the time, if somebody comes to Mountain Home or Baxter County to vacation for a week, here's what I know. They're not going to play mini golf 7 days in a row.
No.
They're not going to eat my restaurant 7 days in a row. So it behooves me as a smart business owner and as somebody who loves this community to recommend everybody else. I want them to go play paintball. I want them to go to the skating rink. I want them to go to the bowling alley. Because if they feel like there's something to do, they're more likely to come back. And what I believe is going to happen this year, with the price of gas and inflation and everybody being freaked out, we're going to have more what we call staycations than we're going to have awaycations.
Yeah.
So COVID created staycations, right? Everybody wanted to get outdoors. They wanted to stay home. They wanted to do things that were local.
But they wanted to do something.
Yes. Well, as soon as if everybody felt like COVID was over, they went cruising. They went to the beach. They went other places. Now we're going to see that boomerang again, where they're going to probably have to look at their wallet and go, we can't go down there this year. Yeah. Let's stay more local and do more fun things, and that's better for our state's economy in the long run.
Well, but it's not just the people in Baxter County.
Right.
The people from Marion County, Fulton County, Searcy County, Stone County. I mean, let's face it, Mountain Home has, in Baxter County, has considerably more to do,
Sure.
Especially Mountain Home, than some of the other counties in the surrounding area, even in southern Missouri.
Oh, I do great with Bakersfield and West Plains.
Yeah.
I do great. We have tons of people come down and see us.
Yeah.
When I first wrote our business plan, I forgot or didn't even recognize that we were only about 8 miles away from the Missouri line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't think to market to that section. And then people kept coming from Bakersfield, and I was like, I need to look at the map because clearly I'm a knucklehead.
Gainesville.
Well, you just don't really think about being, going across the state line.
No.
But, and there's just not much on the other side of Bakersfield in the surrounding area.
Correct.
Mountain Home is the closest place.
Yeah.
So, it's
And the difference is we're wholesome family entertainment.
well, and if you
I don't serve alcohol, so you don't have to deal with knuckleheads.
yeah.
And once again, I don't have a problem with somebody having a drink, but if I've got kids on the course, I don't want somebody saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
We play Christian music on the course. I want people to hear a good, positive message when they're with us. I listen to other types of music personally, as well as Christian music, but I know that I have the ability to influence and just ensure that people have a good feeling at the end of the day.
That's part of the draw of the Ozarks too. It's just a wholesome environment
And that's what
for the
we wanna
most
be.
part.
It is, and that's what we want to be.
So, well, anyway,
I appreciate you
I
guys.
think we. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you guys for inviting me. I appreciate Russ greatly and your team, and
We got to
you
get
guys have been gentlemen to us.
Jamie in
and-
here.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
you offered us your Baxter County Republican Committee, the use of your
Oh,
building
yeah.
for some meetings, so we appreciate
Yeah,
that
it's
too.
it's just you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but we're all in this life together.
That's right.
And the more we can do to help each other, it just facilitates a more cohesive community. And you know, you look around in this country now, and it's like everything is so divisive. It's like, you know, my younger brother called me today, and we were talking about, you know, kind of basically the same thing. It's like the differences in the generations. That the generations now, you know, the young kids, they live, you know, and they'll sit in a room across from each other, and instead of walking over and having a conversation, they're texting each other on the phone.
That's why we don't have video games at our place.
You know,
we mini golf is social.
yeah,
You're laughing together. You're playing together. You know, we have a funny thing. If you get a hole-in-one on our course, you have to celebrate. Do you know what it is?
well,
You got to ride your putter like a horse and yell "yeehaw" really loud. If you can't laugh at yourself,
yeah,
you got a challenge, right?
yeah, you do.
So here, I'm gonna leave you with this. I have a simple philosophy: leave people better than you found them.
Yeah, it's a great philosophy.
Awesome. Well,
Great
Scott,
philosophy.
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate you.
If the worst thing that happens to our viewers is they end up out there eating some ice cream,
Or getting a grilled cheese.
yeah, or grilled cheese, yeah, the specialty.
21. You can't.
You
hurt.
can't go bad. You can't go wrong with 21 choices on grilled cheese,
No,
can you?
no. Sooner you may have to go through 20 before you find the one you like, but that just means
You'd be
you
all
gotta,
right with that, wouldn't you?
you just got to keep
That'd be
coming
great.
back. You know.
That's it.
Okay, Scott. Well, thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Thank you much.
and
Thank you much. We'll be seeing you
we'll be
here real
bringing-
soon. You know, to come out and play around.
You bet.
Bringing Jamie on next.
Awesome.
Do you want to go through our
Yep.
advertisers one more time?
Yep.
while we
Well, I
get
want
Jamie set up.
I want to talk about James Boyette State Farm.
Thanks again, Scott.
I still haven't gotten James's signboard yet, but hopefully I'll pick that up this week, and we'll have it for
Whatever's
next
comfortable
Monday.
on that.
But our newest sponsor is James Boyette State Farm Insurance. James is, you know, full disclosure, as you always say. James Boyette is my State Farm insurance agent, and I'll tell you, he's treated me nothing but just absolutely, you know, terrific, fair. He's State Farm, one of the largest insurance companies in the United States, and yeah, I've got a little bit of heartburn with State Farm as a whole, but I'm gonna tell you, James is outstanding. James has lived in the Mountain Home area for 11 years, and he and his family are big into the community. He serves not just Mountain Home, but goes all the way up into Missouri. He does Norfolk, Salesville, Gamelia, Salem, Gep, Jeep, Jordan, Lone Rock, Viola, Bull shows, and everything around, you know. So home, auto, condo, renters, personal articles, business, life, health, and pet insurance. I think I've got just about all those covered, except I don't have a condo and I don't have a pet anymore. So,
There's plenty of them out there if you want
but
one.
you know, so he's located at 1330 Highway 62 East. It's now a black building that he painted it black,
Well.
and it's got some wood grain trim on it. But 1330 Highway 62 East. Give James a call, 870-425-4540. You won't regret it. He's an outstanding insurance agent, and he'll give you terrific service, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, thank you, Russ, and let's welcome Jamie Nicholson Johnson.
Johnson.
Okay,
Almost 2 years now.
2 years. Okay, good. I mean,
June.
sometimes that slips by me, but because
Yeah,
I've known you for a while, and I always called you
I know.
Jamie Nicholson.
Sometimes I forget when I'm shaking somebody's
So,
hand and I forget the last
anyway.
to add it.
Jamie's our Baxter County assessor.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then
Okay. I've
We'll
been
get-
in office for going on 14 years,
ooh,
and love my job. I love working with the people. I have a great staff. So blessed. Have such a great staff. And my number one thing that when I came into office was to make a professional atmosphere where people are helped and they're taxpayers and they deserve to be helped. You know. And so,
Well, I know my experiences there, just like with the collector over Teresa Smith and every one of the county offices. All you ladies do a fabulous job.
thank you.
you have trained your staff, not just yours, but all of the county offices render, to my way of thinking, absolutely superior service.
Thank you.
You know, for those of us coming in from other states and stuff, we oftentimes have had some pretty bad experiences. I cannot say anything but just outstanding service here from Baxter County in every one of the offices.
Yeah.
And yours is, your
Thank
office is right there with them.
Thank
I was
you.
stopped by the other day and just, to see you and so, well, while I'm here, I might as well assess.
Yeah.
Took me like 2 minutes and I was out. So,
Yeah, I've had nothing but good experiences in those offices. A bump in the road here and there, but that's another story. So, what does the county assessor? What's the main job there?
Well,
Or is there a main job?
I have lots of jobs there. We, of course, assess personal and business personal property, assess and appraise. That we have to put a value on everything so that it can be taxed. We also do real estate, of course. We transfer deeds in our office. We, I also am responsible for 911 addressing, and that was given to me, probably 5 years ago now. And it really works. And we also do mapping, and so that works really well with our 911 addressing. Is we map. I have a GIS guy that he does maps the whole county, and as we transfer deeds, we map every deed that goes through there. That's one thing that was never done. And when I took office, I wanted them to do that, and so we map every legal description on the maps so that we know that it's right for one, and if it's not right, we send it back to the abstract companies or the attorneys that prepared them and make them right, because that's a service for the taxpayer. If we find a mistake, then we help them. That way they don't have a cloud on their title of their property.
there's a website that we can go to and pull that up, isn't there?
Are you talking about
The view of the maps and
Well,
stuff.
we have arcountydata.com.
Yeah.
And it's on my website. But and then we also have ACT Data Scout, and you can pull up your property, or if you can pull it up by name, you can pull it up by parcel, you can pull it up by section, township, and range. You can just go to town. But yeah.
Now, it sounds to me like technology has kind of been
Yeah.
upgraded
Yes,
in the office
yes,
compared to when you first
yes.
came in.
Yeah, it is, and that's free. They can get on it's BaxterCountyAssessor.com, and we have all the links to all of that there. And of course, you can assess online. And speaking of assessment, we started our assessment period January 1 or January 2, because we weren't in January 1. And then it goes to May 31st. So if everyone could get reassessed, and it's not, people will ask me, well, why do I have to do this every year? Well, I tell them, well, we don't follow you around and know if you sold your vehicle. and we don't want to get taxed for something you don't own anymore, for one. And we don't know what you've bought, that you've added, and you need to get them licensed. And so if it's between January and May 31st, if you own it, then that's what we assess.
Is there a mechanism for people to be notified that it's time to assess, or do they have to kind of be responsible? And
Well, I advertise around a lot. We do Facebook. We actually do radio ads, and we haven't done TV, but we get the word out. And
As best you can in
best I can.
in a county, a rural area,
Yeah,
or an
right,
area that's
right.
severely lacking
Right.
in media coverage.
Right.
Yeah.
And we of course give away calendars every year, which everybody looks forward to. And we probably gave around 5,000 calendars this year.
Wow.
And it has the assessment period on it, and our phone numbers and online.
okay, what was that assessment period again?
January 1 through May 31st.
Okay, so May 31st comes,
Yeah.
assessment period is over. What
Well-
happens if
Well, if you,
I
mean, you
forgot.
still, well, if you forgot, you're going to get a 10% penalty
After May.
after May
May
31st. If you owned it, and already. But if you you buy a car after May 31st, then it just goes on as a listing. So until the next year. But we will go ahead and put it on so you can go down to the revenue office and get your tags.
But the big key here is that 10% penalty.
Yeah, you don't want to.
They have to assess prior to May 31st,
Right.
or I guess the day
And
of May 31st. But you have to do it before June the 1st.
Exactly.
Okay, and if you
The
don't,
day of.
you're gonna pay a 10%
Right.
penalty.
And that is not because I want to; it's because it's the law.
Yeah.
And I have to sign a agreement that I will do that.
Enforce it.
Yeah. I will enforce it. That's just the way it is. But we do everything we can to get the word out for people to know, and
My question to you is, why do you set the rates so high for our property taxes?
I don't. You know what sets the rates of our property taxes?
I know.
Sales.
I know that.
And do you know how many sales we've had? Oh my goodness! I should have gotten numbers before I came in here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How much sales we've had in Baxter County.
Yeah.
People have moved here from everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
what kind of things are we supposed to assess?
Oh, anything that you license on the road. If you're a business, you're going to assess anything you use in your business. If it's a tractor or a computer or office desk.
Now,
or,
it's property and personal. Is that
It's the business personal is important too. If you own a business in Mountain Home, you need to file a business personal.
well? How about my toaster? I mean,
No,
I have
no.
I have two toasters, and I only.
They used to do rooms of furniture.
Well, that's what I
that
thought.
was years ago, and people will still get an old timer come in and they'll say, "I got 3 rooms," and we'll go, "No, we don't do that."
Only if that's a business toaster.
Yeah, now if you're a restaurant,
when I make toast, I mean business,
yeah, if
brother.
you're a restaurant and you have equipment that you use, yes, it would be, but it would
Okay.
be pennies.
Okay.
Pennies,
Well, I don't
but-
want to be in trouble for
No.
using a toaster on
no,
the slide.
No.
But if you're just like me, you just got like an old side by side that you don't take off of your own property, and you got a little small tractor that you putz around your own place with.
Right.
Those are not
And
taxed.
plus, you
But-
burn your toast, and you don't want to pay tax on
Yeah,
that, right?
well, I just take my toast out and toast it over the manifold of my tractor.
Yeah. But it's not just it's boats and trailers and anything that you license and get on the road, and also airplanes. People don't think about that, but we do. We have a big supply of airplanes in Baxter County.
Yeah, those ought to bring
Yeah.
in a pretty good chunk of money.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Well, that's
quite a
all right.
bit.
If you can afford an airplane, you ought to be able to afford to pay the taxes on it.
Yeah, we have, we get a list from the state because the state knows
Yeah.
what airplanes are coming in and going out, and if they keep them here in Baxter County, they have to pay personal property taxes on it, and they'll say, well, we got it out of Delaware and da 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 da. Well, is it reside here? Does it stay here in this county? Anything that stays here in this county is property tax. Yeah, they don't like that, but
Okay,
it's
well,
just the law.
So when are they due? Once they assess, when are the taxes
we
due?
roll- we
And I know
roll-
you don't do that.
Yeah, I
but-
don't do that, and I'm not supposed to talk about it. No, but we roll our books over the following January or February, usually 1st of February, once we get all the new deeds that the end of the year put in.
Mm-hmm.
And October 15th is her deadline.
Yeah.
But you get
know.
Teresa in here, and she'll
No,
tell you all
I-
about that.
No, we're going to have Teresa
Yeah.
Smith, the county collector,
Yeah.
in here to talk about that. But you assess between January 1st and May 31st, and then you have until October the 15th
Of the
to
following.
pay your taxes. But the taxes you're paying this year are based on last year's assessment. So the assessment lags. I mean
A year
the
behind.
taxes you're paying lag from a year
Right.
prior to assessment.
Teresa always, I work in the future and she works in the past.
Okay, I've heard rumor of that these county offices will be moving at some point. Can you tell us anything about that?
I don't know exactly when. We're working on a plan now, and we're hoping to have our offices moved off the square back where the old church was tore down. And we're really looking forward to it because it will be so much safer for the public to come in.
And
out.
everybody's gonna be over
And
there?
there'll be, well,
The
me-
assessor and the collector?
yeah, the assessor and the collector's office, and they were gonna have a voting center there. Yeah.
Well,
but-
you know, I think, like you said, it's going to be so much safer because that corner there, people turning. I think there
Oh.
was someone killed there, or
I don't know.
severely injured.
They were injured. It was a little man that got ran over just recently. We've also had people run into our buildings. You know, they get their foot stuck on the gas, and Teresa's building got run into. And then this last year, one of those big old heavy rock trash cans out there, the guy hit one of those curbs so hard that it hit that and threw it against our building. You know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta
And,
whip into that,
yeah.
into the square, into the square
Yeah.
to get off of 62 or whatever.
But we also see people going the opposite direction all day
Oh,
long. You know,
no.
it's on a one-way street, and we see them, and then we're like going, "Oh my goodness, we're gonna have a head-on out here one day."
Yeah.
And when people say, "Well, I've got to go over to the courthouse," we'll go, "Please be careful." You know, every time, please be careful. Look both ways because they're not just coming
Oh,
from
my
one
gosh.
way.
Yeah, I
So
could,
it'll be so much safer. It'll be a better facility for our employees also. You know, these old buildings have been there around a long time, and
Well,
it'll be-
and that's
you need a little more
be-
room to move
yes,
now.
to
we're
be
really
honest,
tight.
to be honest about it, that's pretty prime real estate too.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
and they're
for
gonna-
business.
Yeah, and
And,
the county will be able to sell those buildings and put towards our building. Yes.
Exactly. Sell those buildings to businesses that can use that to generate more revenue,
Right.
because y'all don't need to be, you know, in an area like that, because you're not. I mean, you're a customer service.
Yeah, it'll be a lot safer for everybody.
Oh, great, fantastic,
We're excited about it.
good.
Well, how do you wanna tell us how people can get a hold of you?
Of course, you can come by and see us at 6 East 7th Street, or you can call us on the phone at 870-425-3453, or you can email me at Jamie, Jayme, .nicholsonjohnson@baxtercountyar.com. And that's on the website. You can just look up baxtercountyassessor.com, which is easy to remember. And we have all the links for online assessing there. If you have any trouble with your online assessing, you can just give us a call. And once you do it once, you'll get it. It's no big deal. Businesses absolutely love it. We get compliments all the time because they said that was so easy, you know.
So, well, I've got a kind of a situation where some people live out of town, and they own a piece of property here as well. Is it, can they do it over the phone as well?
Now, real estate, you don't have to assess because we take care of that. We have appraisers that go out and assess. But
Like
like
the situation I'm talking about is the people, they bought a piece and they didn't change, the name hasn't been changed at your office. And I have a personal relationship with these people. I told them that they could call your office and get that name changed. Am I telling them?
then they have to file a deed, and they file it at the clerk's office, and we pick
Oh,
up
okay.
every day. We have a list from the clerk's office of all the deeds that were filed in the county, and that's
So I should be telling them to call the clerk.
yeah, to file a deed.
Okay,
Yeah, if they want
okay.
a name change, they have to file a deed, and we get it usually the next day after it's filed, and then we process it, and we're really good. My girls they stay on top of it. I've seen other counties where they are a month behind on their deed transfers, and we don't do
They've
that.
always been, even on this
Yeah.
issue I'm talking about, they're always really helpful.
So,
So in summary, it's time to assess right now.
right.
And-
You can call us, come by, or assess online, or you can email me
by May
by May
31st.
31st.
And then after that, it goes to Teresa.
Right, exactly. Don't wait till the last minute because May 31st is on Sunday.
No.
And you can assess online, but if you have a problem and you can't get it done, then you're going to have a penalty. So call us on Friday. Get
Yeah,
that
don't
done.
wait till the last minute.
Yeah, even Friday's last minute to
And
me.
mark
I
it
don't-
on your calendar
like-
when you assess, so you don't call us 5 times.
And hey, if you're in the area downtown, just swing on by.
Yeah.
Takes less than 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Just be careful crossing the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe park a couple blocks over and walk. But, all right, Jamie, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just thank you very much for having me here.
Well, we
and
appreciate you.
I appreciate it. We'd like to get the word out.
Appreciate you giving
we
us
don't
some of your
want
time.
We don't want anybody having a penalty.
No.
And
It's
we
good
don't like giving
information.
them. So
How about you, Russ? Any?
Nope. Just once again, all the people down at the county offices are just fabulous people, and
We do have a
treat
good
them like
crew.
you'd want to be treated, because unless you're a troublemaker, unless you come in complaining and screaming and yelling, you're going to be treated with dignity and respect. I
and we
truly
even
believe
treat
that.
them with respect. Also, we may have to ask them to leave, but we nicely.
I can be difficult sometimes, and they're always really nice to me.
We've had to ask a few people to leave. And
I like the way I'm treated when I
yeah.
get there. All right, well, thanks again. Few announcements. Quorum Court, first Tuesday each month, 5:30 p.m. at the Baxter County Courthouse, second floor. City Council meets first and third Thursday, 5 p.m. at City Hall. Men's Club, Republican Men's Club, first Thursday each month, 11:30 a.m. at the Elks. City Planning Committee, second Monday, 1 p.m., City Hall. County Planning Committee, second Tuesday, 11 a.m., Baxter County Courthouse. A&P, which is Advertising and Promotion, third Thursday, 3 p.m., City Hall. School Board, third Thursday, 6 p.m. at the Admin Building on Rodeo Drive over there off of West Road. Public Safety Commission, I think it was the old Airport Commission. They meet as needed or quarterly or some such.
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
quarterly. They announce it via KTLO generally.
And then Baxter County Republican Committee meets last Tuesday each month, 6 p.m. at the VFW. So come on out. If you missed any of this, you can probably get some information at the Republican Committee meeting too. So thanks again, and we'll see you next Monday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Russ, and thanks, Jamie.
Thank
And
you.
on behalf of James Boyette State Farm Insurance, Mountain Home Heating and Air Conditioning, and the Baxter County Republican Committee, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you to Jay Sabella for providing us the space to do this.